Take a look.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Big Hero Chris back at you with another one. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, give me a thumbs up, ring the notification bell, hit me up on Twitter, TikTok, the community post. You already know the vibes, and it's Wednesday, so you already know what that means. It's time for your AEW Dynamite review. And man, it feels like it's a brand new season. The season opener for the AEW, especially for Dynamite. We got a new logo, and on top of all of that, we got a new set, man. They brought the tunnels back. The heel and the faces tunnels are back. We got a big old LED screen. The colors are back, man. A lot of people are comparing it to NXT 2.0. A lot of people are saying, oh, well, AEW Dynamite has always had colors. I don't care about none of that. I think it looks great. I don't care if it's 2.0, OG Dynamite. I don't give a flying you know what. It looks good. It's a good look, man. And this felt like a brand new episode of Dynamite. It felt like the season opener. It felt like low-key a Raw after WrestleMania, but for AEW. And it kicked off with whose house? Swerve's house. And speaking of those tunnels, man, Swerve actually came out the face tunnel. So, by AEW logic, Swerve is officially a good guy. He cut a good guy promo. He was talking about how he felt like he let everybody down. He was talking about how for the first time wrestling at Revolution this past Sunday, it felt like people were cheering for him, and that's what it was. The entire night, people were chanting whose house? Swerve's house. They were cheering for Swerve. People were really believing that Swerve was going to walk out the AEW champion. And it didn't happen. Old Joey Samoa retained. He choked out Hangman Adam Page. So technically, Swerve didn't lose, but he didn't win either. And he also said that somehow, some way, Samoa Joe, he's going to get his hands on him and the AEW Championship. So this causes Samoa Joe to come out. And Samoa Joe saying that Swerve's talking real spicy for a person who's not the AEW champion. So he figured he'd come out and let the people of Atlanta, Georgia, see the actual AEW champion. So they're going back and forth. And then all of a sudden you have the Undisputed Kingdom come out. Adam Cole, Roddy, the Kingdom, and Mr. Wardlow, they're all on stage. And Adam Cole's doing most of the talking. He's doing all the talking. He says it's time for story time with Adam Cole. And he's saying that the Undisputed Kingdom is now doing exactly what they said they were going to do. The Kingdom is the greatest Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions ever. Roderick Strong beat Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. And Wardlow is coming after the AEW Championship, and he's bringing it back home to the Undisputed Kingdom. But Swerve doesn't want to hear none of this. He said that the line starts behind him. And he also pokes at Adam Cole a little bit. He calls him, he says he looks like Mr. Claw from Inspector Gadget. And then he also made a line about Adam Cole looking good as a manager. So, they're throwing these bars back and forth. And Adam Cole says, you know what, man, next week, the Kingdom, they're going to fight you and Samoa Joe. And it's going to take place next week. But Swerve's like, listen, he's ready to wrestle. Samoa Joe looks like he's ready to wrestle. The Kingdom's ready to wrestle. Let's just do it right now. Have the tag team match right now. And Tony Khan makes it official. So this leads into our first match. The Undisputed Kingdom taking on Joey Samoa and Swerve in a Can They Coexist tag team match. And a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, are going to say that this felt like an opening to Monday Night Raw. And you wouldn't be wrong because it had that vibe of it. But, if something works, man, fuck, man. Because it's not too often that AEW does the opening segment to, lead into a match. Most times it is indeed a match that starts the show. So it's not an every week thing. It's just something different to break up the whole monotony. And, if it's just a 1 week thing, I have no problem with it. So Samoa Joe and Swerve end up winning the match. Swerve actually pretty much won the match by himself because Joe, he was doing his thing, he was doing his Samoa Joe Thug Thizzle. But the Kingdom, they were getting the upper hand on him. But when Swerve tagged in, he was doing his thing. You know, he's doing his unique offense. He's hitting gritties on fools, kicking people, winning with I don't know if they're still calling it the JML driver or they're calling it big pressure. Either way, Swerve won, and then after the match, he's looking at Samoa Joe in the face like, yeah, I did that. No thanks to you. But then Mr. Wardlow comes out and he's, you know, making his way to the ring, and Swerve sees this, but he's then choked out by Samoa Joe. So it was also announced that next week at Big Business is going to be Wardlow taking on Samoa Joe. Wardlow won the All-Star match, and this guaranteed him a title match. I didn't realize it would be happening this soon, but here we are. It's happening at Big Business. And I'm assuming, it could go either way because, you know, Wardlow's been talking a lot of trash. He's been talking a lot of junk about how this is Wardlow's world. So I could see him winning the championship. But Swerve and Samoa Joe have unfinished business, so this really could go either way. We'll see what happens next week at Big Business, but this is a good way to start the show, man. And then we go backstage and we see Hook talking to Renee Paquette. She's asking him questions, and out of nowhere, fucking Chris Jericho shows up, and I'm like, oh brother. So it's looking like Chris Jericho found him another one, and Hook's been sucked into the Jericho-verse. If you don't believe me, the next match was between Hook and Brian Cage for the FTW Championship, and it's being contested under FTW rules, which means there's no rules, anything goes. It's pretty much extreme rules. You had thumbtacks, you had Brian Cage being choked out on the thumbtacks, man. There was a whole bunch going on. Hook ended up winning. He retained his FTW Championship, and the whole time I was actually thinking, whatever happened to Toa Leona and Khan? I know they were in Japan doing their thing, but that was over a while ago. And it appears that Tony Khan is a mind reader, because after the match, they came out and they started putting the beat down on Hook, and Hook was saved by Chris Jericho. Oh, I'm so sorry, Hook. But something I'm not sorry for is the fact that Sting and Darby Allin have vacated the tag team championships, and during the month of March, I'm assuming that AEW is doing like a March Madness type deal. It's going to be a tournament to determine who will be the new AEW tag team champions, and one of those teams is Best Friends, even though it's not really Best Friends because Chuck Taylor is still not cleared to compete. So it's going to be Orange Cassidy and Trent. They will be wrestling this Friday on Rampage. I think they're wrestling The Butcher and Kip Sabian, so be sure to check that out on Friday Rampage. So after this, we had a squash match. We had Kill Switch taking on Daddy Magic. Daddy Magic getting trying to get revenge for what they did to his stepson, you know, Daniel Garcia, and how they screwed him out of the TNT Championship. And this was pretty much a squash match. I thought this was pretty pointless, but this did ultimately serve a point because you had Christian on commentary. He's doing play-by-play. Kill Switch gets the win with like a choke slam type deal. So the Patriarchy is making their way back up to the ramp. And then out of nowhere, Edge, Adam Copeland returns. He yeets Kill Switch off the stage to a table. And then this part was funny because Adam Copeland proceeded to chase Kill Switch from the stage, through the crowd, through the backstage area, outside. Christian Cage ended up stealing a car like his Grand Theft Auto. He takes off, he drives off. That was hilarious. But Adam Copeland made the challenge. Yeah, I think it's going to take place in 2 weeks in Toronto, Canada, where it all started for old Edge and Christian. And Adam Copeland pretty much laid it out. He said for the TNT Championship, Christian Cage, Adam Copeland, I quit match. And, you know, it should be pretty dope, man. It's going to be in Toronto, so, you know, the crowd's going to be up for both Edge and Christian. The atmosphere should be pretty nice, so we'll see where this goes. We'll see if Adam Copeland can finish his story and defeat Christian Cage and finally get that TNT Championship. So after this, we had a backstage segment with Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle's pretty much saying that, you know, even though he respects the Undisputed Kingdom, he respects Roddy, he respects Adam Cole, he feels like he's better off doing the whole thing on his own. So Kyle O'Reilly's solo mission. It's good to see Kyle O'Reilly back, man. That's it. That was all for this segment. But this led us into our EVPs. It started off with them earlier doing a kind of a play on the whole Tony Khan bit with the whole, thanks guys, with their eyes wide open. They're just really excited to be wherever the fuck they are. And in true Tony Khan fashion, they announced an announcement that the announcement will take place later in the show. So we fast forward to later in the show. The EVPs come out. They've retained the rights to the Cody Vader. It's the EVP Ader or the Bucks Ader, whatever the elevator that Cody Rhodes used to use. It belongs to the Young Bucks now. And they have a few special announcements. The first announcement is that they will be a part of the tag team title tournament that I mentioned earlier. That's 1. 2, due to, their friend Hangman Adam Page running amok and going crazy with his goofy ass mustache, attacking referees twice, he's suspended indefinitely, and this broke the EVP's heart. But something else that was kind of heartbreaking for me was the fact that Kenny Omega was fired, not from AEW, but from the group The Elite. So Kenny Omega is no longer a part of The Elite. And as the Young Bucks are getting ready to make their third announcement, Eddie Kingston comes out. He's making his way to the ring to disrespect the Young Bucks in his sweatpants and his Timbs, and I felt that because I like sweatpants and Timbs. And he throws money in the air because he knew a fine was coming. And it looks like he's getting in the Young Bucks' face, and they attack him, and they're about to hit the EVP trigger when all of a sudden the music of Okada hits. The Rainmaker is in AEW. The rumors are true. He's officially in AEW now. He's making his way to the ring. It's looking like he's going to help Eddie Kingston. Surprise, surprise, bitch, he's not. He's actually siding with the Young Bucks, the EVPs. He hits the Rainmaker on Eddie Kingston. And the third and final announcement is that not only is Okada a part of AEW, but he's in the Elite now. So they kicked out Kenny. They put in one of his biggest opponents in Okada. That's some hater type shit, man. But yeah, man, Okada's in AEW. He's all Elite. He's a heel. He's with the EVP. So it's only a matter of time before Kenny Omega comes out, because they're already planting the seeds of Kenny Omega, Okada in AEW, and I'm going to be here for it to watch it and behold it and drink all this grappling action in through a curly straw. But after this, we get the one women's match. It's Chris Statlander taking on Riho. Everyone give it up for old Riho. She's making her way to the ring. And they're having a pretty good match, Riho. It's always good to see Riho in the AEW. And Chris Statlander is just awesome. She's getting better week by week by week by week. And this match was really damn good. Yeah, Stokely Hathaway outside, being a cheerleader with his big, bald, milk dud head. And there was even one spot where he slid in the chain to Chris Statlander. He's trying to distract the referee. He's trying to get Chris Statlander to turn heel and hit this poor 98-pound woman in the face with a steel chain. But Chris Statlander refuses. She's a good person. She's a good R-Truth. And ultimately, this cost her, because Riho got the win with the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. And Stokely Hathaway's looking devastated. Chris Statlander's looking down in the dumps. And it's teasing, something going on with Chris. I don't know if she's turning heel or what. But later on in the show, you have a backstage segment with Willow and Stokely Hathaway. And next week at Big Business is going to be Willow taking on Riho. And Willow Nightingale pretty much says that, look, man, she can beat Riho. And she's got her eyes on the TBS Championship. And speaking of the TBS Championship, you have Julia Hart with Sky Blue. They hear the challenge of Willow Nightingale. And Julia says that this Friday on Rampage, she's going to wrestle one of the Renegade Twins, and she's going to remind everyone exactly who she is. And then you have a segment from the House of Black. They're laying out the challenge to Mark Briscoe, who tried to murder the entire House of Black last week with pyro and fire and shit. So this Saturday on Collision, it's going to be the House of Black taking on the brand spanking new team of Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, and Jeff Jarrett in an Atlanta Street Fight. So yeah, pre-woo. After this, we have an in-ring segment from Darby Allin without his stepfather Sting. He's bringing out the tag team championships, and he said that whoever goes after these titles in the tournament will have certainly earned them. And he also addresses the fact that people were asking, myself included, well, why can't Darby find a new partner and just hold on to the tag team titles? And he made it very clear that there's no replacing Sting as a person, as a tag team partner, which makes perfect sense. And then it's announced that next week Darby is going to wrestle Jay White. And then Jay White comes out. He's, out there with the Bullet Club. And, he came out of the face tunnel, but he was acting very heelish. He's playing up to the fact that Darby Allin's by himself. And he's saying that, Darby doesn't want this match, man. He should just go ahead and climb Mount Everest and, do whatever he wants to do. But before he does that, man, just hang out with the Bang Bang Scissor Gang. And Jay White even gave Darby a new nickname, Darby Scissorhands, or whatever the fuck he called him. And Darby's not amused. He said the match is going to take place, and he holds up the bat to Jay White, just like his dad Sting would. So, that was a pretty cool moment. But this leads us to our main event. Speaking of cool moments, we have two members of United Empire, Kyle Fletcher taking on Will by God Ospreay, and god damn, this was a good match, man. Will Ospreay, man, he's just awesome. So back-to-back matches, he's having 5-star bangers. One with Takeshita, now another one with Kyle Fletcher, man. And it's like, damn, Will Ospreay, slow the fuck down, bro. You're gonna be here for a while. He's just spoiling us with all these good matches, man. And Kyle Fletcher, he's holding his own. Commentary is putting over the fact that this dude is only 25 years old. So it's only a matter of time before he becomes, I guess they're assuming, the next Will Ospreay. But it's like, man, just like this dude becomes the first Kyle Fletcher. Because dude was pretty smooth in the ring as well. And Will Ospreay ended up winning with a hidden blade, like a hellified hidden blade. Kyle Fletcher says, just go ahead and knock me out, champ. And he does, and Will Ospreay gets the 1, 2, 3. As United Empire is celebrating, Bryan fucking Danielson comes out, and I started to take my shirt off. I started to take my pants off, because it's seeming like we're gonna get Bryan Danielson versus Will by God Ospreay in the near future. And that's how you end the show. That's how the show ends. They standing face to face. They have the little bar in the middle that lets you know the show is coming to an end. And I'm like, good God almighty, this is awesome. So this was a good season premiere, season opener for Dynamite, man. I was thoroughly excited, thoroughly sports entertained. The raps are real. Everything is awesome, man. But with that being said, guys, what did you think of this week's episode of Dynamite? Are you feeling the new set? Do you like the new logo? Are you excited for big business? How will you be spending your Monday in the upcoming week, man? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. You guys take care. Be easy. I'm out. Peace.